Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. To start things off in very interesting news, Samsung has added support for TRON-based dApps, or decentralized applications, to its proprietary Galaxy Store, granting smartphone and tablet users in both Europe and the US access. TRON said on Monday that Samsung smartphones and tablet users would be able to download these dApps from a dedicated section of the Galaxy Store. On-chain games such as Blockchain Cuties and Super Player would be available from the store from Monday, with other dApps slated to be added in the near future. TRON founder Justin Sun said the collaboration with Samsung was going to be the next level by integrating both ecosystems together. When the partnership was first unveiled back in October, the two companies released a software development kit, or an SDK, that gave users direct access to the TRON blockchain via their Samsung devices. At the time, Samsung appeared to limit its support to wallet services. Sun said dApps being available through the Galaxy Store, one of the largest app stores in the world, would be an incredible opportunity for the TRON ecosystem to present itself on a whole new user base, some of whom may not be necessarily have come across blockchain before. Samsung, a lot of phones, millions of users, money, Samsung. So apparently they tried to reach out to Samsung, but no response. I mean, sure, why not? That happens. You know, they're actually kind of busy. The point is, yeah, this is actually major news. I am quite surprised because if you have been here, you know, historically, we've heard before that partnerships between TRON and X have never actually been partnerships. They were actually just kind of them using their services, or something else was happening, or they ended up like renting a desk from them somewhere at an office. But lo and behold, Samsung is huge. Like, Samsung is actually, I mean, I don't have to like tell you what Samsung is. Like, I'm like, if you've never heard of Samsung before, this is, dare I say, awesome. That's not a word that I usually say in the same breath as TRON. However, I cannot deny that this is major. I kind of want to go and check and see what kind of apps dApps they actually have on there to see if they're good. I have thought for a very long time that one of the main things that would kind of propel the cryptocurrency space forward is video games. If you can have games on type of these apps and dApps and stuff like that, or they're happening behind the scenes when people are using them without knowing that they're using them, that's kind of when everything has become hyper mainstream. I mean, crypto's already like super mainstream, but when you get to the point where people are using it and they don't know that they're using it, that's when it kind of becomes completely insane. So people being able to download an app from Samsung or the Galaxy Store, whatever the thing is called, and actually potentially just using TRON without knowing that they're using TRON, while also potentially having fun while they're playing Blockchain Cuties and or Super Player, is completely insane. I would like to see some new blockchain games, and the ones that we have are they're kind of awkward. They're kind of weird to look at as well. Some of them are kind of creepy. But yeah, this is one, this is in a historical first. There's nothing negative I can say about this. Not a gosh darn thing. Yeah, so let's see how this ends up rolling out. I assume there's probably other talk behind the scenes from other blockchain companies who are also trying to get things like this moving along, but TRON has Samsung, so yeah. Also, if any of you play these games, use these games, let me know how they are. I'm curious to see. They also don't say how many have been launched. I assume it's probably just a slight handful. Yeah, this is actual interesting news. I don't remember if TRON's price was going up. I guess we'll check in a bit to see. It would make sense if it did. Yeah, very interesting. Let's move on. Next up, FTX, a cryptocurrency derivatives exchange that has mainly served the Asian market, is planning to launch a spot market in the United States. FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried, that is his name, confirmed to The Block on Monday that the U.S. exchange is currently in beta testing and is aiming for an official launch in early May. And I didn't have to go backwards. Everyone seems to be launching things in May. Say it with me. It's Bitcoin's halving. Everything is happening in May for some reason. This is not the first news that we've had about something launching in May. I think, isn't Backed also doing something in May? Binance is doing something in May, and May is doing something in May. Like, everyone is launching something around the same exact time. I assume it is in anticipation of the energy, if you will, from the actual Bitcoin halving. According to FTX.US's website, the new exchange has already registered as a money business service with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN, and it is working to acquire state-level treasury monetary transmitter licenses from several states, pretty much making it, once again, a bank. All cryptocurrency exchanges are basically banks. Both MSB and MTLs are required for financial services firms to legally operate in the United States to serve users in New York. FTX needs to apply for a BIT license as well. That's going to be fun. So that means they're never opening then. For those of you, I mean, it takes forever to... Cool. They have to apply for a BIT license. For those of you who don't know, it takes about like 3 to 5 years to get any type of a BIT license. So good luck. The new exchange will maintain a separate order book from the FTX derivatives exchange. Currently, the platform offers USD trading pairs for Bitcoin, Bcash, Ethereum, Litecoin, I assume this is Paxos Gold, PaxG, and USDT, which is Tether. Bankman Fried says it is looking to add more assets and fiat on-ramp options before the official launch, as well as margin trading features for qualified users. I assume they're going to be trying to add... Oh, Ether's already there. I assume it's then going to be XRP, EOS, TRON? Question mark? Probably Stellar and Cardano. I want to say Cardano. Cardano's been added to many other platforms except for Coinbase. People have been asking in the comment section, like, when Cardano? And I don't know. Coinbase has their own weird methodology for when they're going to be adding stuff onto their platform. But anyway, yeah, it's cool. This is also news that's kind of everywhere. I don't know if it's the significance of FTX being a major player in the Asian markets and therefore them trying to move over to the US market is that kind of significance. But I mean, also in general, this happens both ways. People who are in the States or in the US, they end up trying to open up things in Europe and in Asia. And those within Asia end up trying to open up things within Europe and the States and the Americas, if you will, in an attempt to get more money, because that's kind of how it works. Yeah. Cool for them. I hope FTX launches. They're never going to get that BIT license, so don't hold your breath there. But they're still going to be launching in the US, so cool. I mean, it is another on-ramp, if you will. I guess that's another nice thing to say about it. It's another place where people will be able to go to put their money into the cryptocurrency space and or find ways to have access to it when they otherwise would not have. Cool, let's move on. Next up, Bitcoin's Crypto Fear and Greed Index is showing a massive shift in the top coins narrative and hence the whole crypto ecosystem. The FGX index, which was in extreme fear, has now started to surge, and this increase signals a shift in the market from extremely bearish to slightly bullish. Oh, look at little move up right there. As seen in the attached chart, Fear and Greed Index has dropped to 8 following the March 12th crash, and this was the second lowest dip since the dip of February 2018. The lowest FNG index dip ever seen was in August 2019, when it had dipped to as low as 5. Following 19, Bitcoin, although it is supposed to be an uncorrelated asset, crashed by 50%. Following the same pattern as other traditional assets. We've gone over that before. It was whales. We know that largely Bitcoin has been uncorrelated, or when there is a correlation, it's a negative to positive correlation. If stocks tend to do really well, then there's no need to really put your money into an alternative currency such as Bitcoin. or when governments around the world are collapsing. We've seen this before in the past. The Bitcoin does well and the price goes up. So any movements that we had a couple of weeks ago, I still believe myself personally are completely fraudulent, because that's just kind of how things were. The sell-off created a sense of panic in an already tense environment. However, the surge now means the faith in the coin is being restored. That's a weird sentence. Since 2017, Bitcoin has not had another high. The coin, which is in an extended bear market, is starting to surge now. It's time for Bitcoin to start surging again. I can't read any more of this because the writing is very weird. I think this time frame right here is when we hit $14,000. I believe that happened last summer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it seems like the amount of time frame. Anyway, just to not even reiterate, the amount of news that we're seeing all over the place is very bullish, not only on next month, but on the next couple of months. I don't have the news in this video. I keep moving my hands as if you can all see me. It's very, very weird. The news that we keep getting is either people are expecting a bullish movement upwards, people are very bullish, people are expecting good things to happen within the next couple of weeks, if not the next 6 months. It's always the same. It's always the same kind of news back and forth. There are a couple of people still floating around in the air who think that Bitcoin is going to drop back to 1,000 and or 2,000, or I've seen 3,200. Once again, somebody said that we have to retest that. Sure, why don't you go retest it yourself in the corner? Because that's complete nonsense that Bitcoin has to fall back down more than 50% just for you to be assured that Bitcoin can go back up. But yeah, there's not much negativity in the market. There's not much bearishness. I don't think that Bitcoin's price moving down by 50% because a couple of really rich people moved it down is an indication of fear. I think they tried to instill fear in people's hearts, but it didn't really work, because the only people we had news the days after as well, once again, the only people who were selling off were the people who had massive amounts of Bitcoin. The other people who were maybe hodling or had been around for a very long time didn't sell off at all. So it was relatively new people in this space who were probably trying to once again manipulate the market, and it didn't work as probably well as they thought it was going to. Who knows? Anyway, so yeah, the fear and greed index is apparently moving on up, and we are moving into a more bullish sentiment than we already previously were before, because nothing has really changed. Like, people haven't gotten bearish on Bitcoin. It's kind of like a things are going to be amazing or things are going to stay exactly where they were. I made the thing yesterday on Twitter. That's exactly how it panned out. People either said that the price is going to go up, or it's going to move sideways, not much will change, or people are simply waiting for Ethereum 2.0 and don't give $2 about Bitcoin. Yeah. Let's move on. Next up, speaking at Virtual Blockchain Week, I wouldn't say that, venture capitalist Tim Draper confirmed that he is sticking to his 6-figure Bitcoin price prediction. Back in 2018, Tim Draper made a bold public call that the price of Bitcoin would reach $250,000 by the end of 2022 or early 2023. As of today, he's sticking to it. He said, "That's my prediction. Sticking with it. I'm very confident that it's going to happen. That's happening. It's kind of funny." End quote. He cites a couple major reasons that might drive the kind of price action. Draper believes that the US government's massive stimulus package will debase the value of the dollar and send people to crypto. He also expects Bitcoin will see massive commercial adoption around the world within this time frame. He says, and I quote, "All of a sudden, the retailers say, 'Oh, you mean I don't have to pay 2.5 to 4% to the banks every time someone swipes a credit card?' End quote. Yeah, that's also a really big thing. A lot of people don't get that that's also another big selling point for crypto, or even just Bitcoin in this instance. 4%, while a low number compared to 100, is still a lot of money. Every single time that someone buys something in your store, having to pay the bank 2.5 to 4% because someone tapped their card or swiped their card is a little nonsensical. You also have to pay for the machines that actually allow you to do that as well. Like, imagine just having your smartphone, or imagine, like, I'm sure you've walked into stores. There are tons of stores and cafes that already have these things. They have like an iPad set up, and they have like a QR code thing, or like a thing where you can simply just tap your, like, it can be extremely easy. And this is part of the confusion that I have, that we already haven't moved to a more friendly Bitcoin knowing world where more people are into it, because A lot of the old system, all of the old system, we don't have to use it anymore. We have something that's far more efficient and money saving, but here we are. Draper says a company called OpenNode, in which he invested some money, can help make it happen. OpenNode is building a Bitcoin payment gateway on the Lightning Network, known for extremely fast Bitcoin transaction settlements. In time, Draper believes such services will prove their competitive advantage over the conventional players, credit cards, and will steer market share from them the same way as MasterCard and Visa took market share from the then dominant American Express. I think this is going to happen. I think big money behind the scenes has to really kind of push it around, if you will. I think people have so many things. Not only can crypto be an investment vehicle, it also has that narrative of a safe haven, air quotes, but I think the real adoption part comes from being able to send money rapidly around the world. Even if that rapidly ends up being 5 to 10 minutes on the Bitcoin network, that's still very fast. Being able to send money from Japan to Canada, that's extremely fast. It's faster than the banks. The low cost, the low fees, like the news that we had before that someone sent, what was it, like $1.4 billion worth of Bitcoin. It was like 38 cents for the transaction. I know there are other coins that have 0 transaction fees. Wonderful, amazing. 38 cents is still incredible because you would have to spend millions in actual fees if you were trying to send it through the traditional banking system. And also just in general, when people realize that they don't have to, same exact thing like I was ranting about before. You have 25% in fees. You have 0% in fees. You have 25% in fees. You have 0. You would assume people would logically go to 0, but I assume that just happens over time when people start looking at their balance sheets and go, oh, 25%. And then they kind of get it. So, yeah. He also said, where was it? Yeah. So he also apparently, this was also news. It made more headlines than it should have. It said Draper also jokingly promised to eat a raw egg if his prediction falls short, an allusion to the more savage promise made by John McAfee, who, I don't know if you've noticed, McAfee kind of, the last couple of weeks, realizing that his price prediction of, I think, $1 million or $2 million per Bitcoin would not happen by the end of this year, is now ranting and raving that Bitcoin is now the worst network and system in the entire world. Sure. Now, of course, you hate it because you're not hungry. The point being, this is another prominent player in the cryptocurrency space. This is, I mean, they're all saying the exact same thing. They're all releasing the same quotes and ideas and price predictions and price movements and where things are going to be. I think Draper's one of the people who said that by the end of this year, we will see a $50,000 to $80,000 Bitcoin. And I guess now by 2022 or early 2023, Bitcoin, according to he, will be worth $250,000. And if not, he's going to eat an egg. I mean, Hoskinson said he would eat his own shoe. He didn't. The other guy, McAfee, said he would, and this guy's talking about eating an egg. I would love to see someone do it. I would love to see, stop recoiling on the things you say. Wouldn't it be really weird if Bitcoin hits like 249,000 and is like, man, here's the egg. I'll even I'll hard boil it for you just so you can have a bit easier time to have any eggshells in your mouth. Anyway, yeah, that's the Tim Draper news and the doubling down on the money. I saw a lot of news articles talking about Tim Draper talking about eating an egg, and I'm like, let's move on. Next up, in response to customer demand, a little strong there, leading cryptocurrency exchange Binance has launched trading support for the Steem hard fork known as HIVE yesterday. HIVE can now be traded against Bitcoin, Tether, and Binance Coin. However, withdrawals and deposits will not go live until the 29th of April. While Huobi's recently introduced support for HIVE skyrocketed the token's price over 600% in 3 days, Binance's announcement appears to have resulted in a bearish pullback, with HIVE dropping 20% from 95 cents to 75 cents over the past 11 hours. I think it's even dropped a lot more than that over the last couple of hours. The announcement comes the month after Binance and Huobi mobilized customer support to funds to support TRON founder and new Steemit Inc. owner, Justin Sun's apparent attempted takeover of the Steem network, ousting Steem's block validators in favor of Sun. However, Binance claimed that they were misled by Justin Sun as to the nature of what they were voting on and quickly withdrew their votes. Changpeng Zhao claimed that he had been made aware of an upcoming upgrade that he had supported. He said, Justin didn't talk to me about it actually. My internal team said it was a necessary network upgrade, so I said go ahead. There are network upgrades all the time, and we are always supportive, end quote. So the news going backwards is, apparently Justin Sun was trying to do something on Steem. The people from Binance said okay. When they found out what Justin Sun was doing, so the rumor goes, they said no, withdrew their votes. The thing happened or went forward with what TRON and Justin Sun were trying to do. At the same exact time, someone said, no, we don't like what Steem is doing. They hard forked it into HIVE. And then this is how we have HIVE now because of that entire situation. About a day or two ago, we saw that HIVE was skyrocketing 600% in 3 days. And then there's been like a major drop down. A lot of you maybe have not seen that, but HIVE is not as HIVE as it was before. And yeah, I assume, I don't even think it's a bearish pullback. I think it's just reality. I don't think that there were millions, hundreds of thousands, not even tens of thousands of people around the world who were actively trying to trade HIVE or buy HIVE or accumulate HIVE. Keeping in mind, we live in a world where Shelly's launching, Bitcoin's about to have, Ethereum's about to upgrade, and other coins or whatever. So I don't think HIVE had as much support as other people thought. I think it's probably a lot easier if you're only listed on one exchange to be able to have your market value go a lot higher than it probably should be. Like I said before, this thing kind of just launched. I don't and did not expect that momentum to continue. It is a little annoying, I won't lie, when you see coins that have just been created that are probably not going to be used in mega mass all around the world move up 600% in 3 days. Like, imagine if we had like imagine all the good news that we've had about Ethereum, about Bitcoin. Dare I even say, no, I'm not going to say any other coins. That actual movement translating into the other major cryptocurrency coins. Anyway, yeah, HIVE has been launched on, or being launched on, Binance, and starting on the 29th, you'll be able to withdraw and deposit it. Yeah. Oh, I guess even while we're here, I think I remember all of them. People were asking yesterday in the video, what 7 coins do I think are going to make it? Now listen, at the moment, I believe that 3 coins are going to make it. However, there are 4 other coins that I think maybe potentially have a shot that could maybe do well in the future if they continue doing everything that they're going to say. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, bam. Those are the 3. The other coins, I want to say Litecoin. Simply because Litecoin has been around for a while. I think behind the scenes it's still being accumulated, maybe not as much as before, but I think if we should eventually get to a period in a couple of years, and this is not me telling you to go out and buy Litecoin, it's more of a me looking at things objectively and exactly how things are kind of being accumulated by major companies. If we end up getting to a point where Litecoin is still being used a lot, by the time Litecoin has its halving, that puts it around the same exact number where currently, or where Bitcoin is going to be in May, I think this will be a bullish movement for it. I think we have years for that. And keep in mind, people sometimes make the mistakes. Just because I'm bullish on a coin does not mean that I plan on holding it forever. That's not the case. I'm here for the monies, and there are a lot of coins that I think are going to do exceedingly well, but at some point, I don't think they're going to be around for the next 10 years. Number 5, I think, is Lumens. I don't care for Lumens, but I think Lumens will do very well, especially if all that stuff with the World Wire from IBM is actually going to take place, i.e., the transactions or whatever that's happening on the actual World Wire, or at least a portion of them, will be flowing through Lumens. That's incredible because the people from World Wire and IBM already have tons of banks also signed up with them as well, and I assume over the last year, they've also been accumulating more partnerships, which is going to mean more transactions happening on the Stellar network, even though Stellar doesn't have an enormous transaction fee. I think this is also something, and I think this probably also, talking too fast, and I think this probably also ties into the news that we had of them burning their coins. They were probably told by shareholders, IBM themselves, too many coins, we can make it work with a lot less. Bam. That was 5 or 6. 3, 4, 5. It's a mix-up between EOS, TRON, and Cardano. It's a real toss-up between them. While I don't care for TRON has big money behind it. You can't knock a partnership with Samsung. EOS has the exact same thing. EOS has a lot of money behind them. They have a lot of investors. They have a lot of just funds sitting in the back that will allow them to potentially move forward very well in the future. And then Cardano, you know, I don't have to go over the entire Shelly thing and all the other stuff that it's just about them being able to actually do it. As far as other coins, it's always a toss-up. Like, I can't say Tezos, I can't say Chainlink, I can't say Hive, I can't say all these other coins that are very popular, but they haven't been around as long as other coins, and therefore it's just foolish of me to be like, yeah, I believe that Chainlink, which has been around for about a minute and a half, is definitely going to be able to outclass XRP and or Ethereum. I still only see 3 coins in my eyes that are going to make it very far, at least for the next 10 years. And we'll have great price movements upwards. But after that, there's not a lot. A lot of the coins that we have in the cryptocurrency space are just garbage. However, I will tell you, if TRON went from, what was it, 1 cent before to I think 38 cents was the previous all-time high, I can definitely see a dollar TRON. Without a doubt. If this partnership between TRON and Samsung holds true, and we end up having another partnership like this, or they end up doing some type of crazy DeFi platform where tons of TRON are locked up, it's entirely possible that TRON would be able to 3x from where it was before and therefore hit a dollar. That's not me telling you to go out and buy TRON, because TRON may always stay below 5 cents. Who knows where the price is going to go? That's how the cryptocurrency market is. Yeah, but yeah, people, I see people in the comment section asking, what coins do I think are big? What coins do I think are so and so? Where do I think coins are going to go? I see other people getting upset that I am just not into Hive. I'm not into Hex. I'm not into Digibyte. I'm not into so and so. These coins prove nothing. Like, you can be super, like, it's the same exact thing with penny stocks. You can be super popular. You can go from a 1 cent stock to run an 85-cent stock. Whoever was trading you made tons of money, but that company then goes belly up in about a good month and a half, and it's like, well, where'd all the money go? Anyway, cool. Hive has been listed on Binance. Let's give it by August. If we even see any articles talking about Hive anymore, or if the price goes up. And I don't mean the price going up on a Bitcoin movement up, because that's just too easy. If Bitcoin goes up by 38% between now and August, of course the other coins are also going to go up. So you can't say, see, it also went up. I'm not knocking it. It's just more of a, whenever a coin goes up massively or has like a huge pump, I see the comment section getting very angry with me that I'm not talking about said coin in a positive, praising manner. I've avoided thus far trying to talk about scams on this channel for a very long time, and you know how that is. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, also news, a lot of places, everywhere news. Where are the words? My gosh. Over the last few years, the largest and most active Bitcoin miners have operated from China. These include large miners Bitmain, a miner that has been involved in some tug-of-war scenarios in the recent past, one of them being the hash war of 2018, following the hard fork that led to the split and the creation of Bcash and BSV. I really wonder how strong the cryptocurrency space would be if we didn't have Bcash and we didn't have BSV. These forks happened because of greed. They had nothing to do with hash rates, or they had nothing to do with so-and-so. They had to do with people just trying to figure out how to make their own coins to make money. Because I mentioned before, if you have the answer for the true Bitcoin, you should simply be able to fork your coin and just simply name it Cash. You can even name your coin Satoshi's Vision. Totally cool. And if your coin does well, then therefore you've proven to the entire world that you hold the true Bitcoin. But you adding on the name Bitcoin does absolutely nothing. It just causes confusion within the market as people are trying to get into the space. I really wonder. Imagine if we only still just had one coin with the name Bitcoin, because BSV and Bcash gave birth to so many copies, it kind of taints the waters. Granted, the proliferation of large mining pools in China over the years and their subsequent contribution to Bitcoin's overall hash rate has made some people within the Bitcoin community worried that Chinese miners may eventually attempt to effectively centralize Bitcoin mining and probably try to manipulate its price to their advantage. This would hurt the great trust that Bitcoin has formulated over the last years as a viable and source-secure digital payment impervious manipulation. Apparently, so the guy Plan B, if you have no idea who Plan B is, you have not been here before. Plan B is the guy who was who made the Bitcoin stock to flow ratio and was going over the numbers, and apparently had been talking to banks and other institutions and told them that in May, Bitcoin stock to flow ratio and its inflation rate would be lower than the actual fiat inflation rate. And also, I think this halving and the next halving would put Bitcoin stock to flow, or like hardness as an asset, or difficulty being able to acquire said asset in comparison to gold. It would surpass gold, and therefore Bitcoin would be more difficult to acquire than gold. So apparently he was on Twitter and he said that no, most added hash power was in the US and Canada. In my opinion, China will be overtaken soon, if not already. So apparently he told someone who was concerned about Chinese miner centralization that apparently the new miners will be opening up in the US and Canada, therefore taking away a large portion of the mining power from China. And yeah, that's it. That's the news. That was the entire news. It was everywhere. It was like China miners completely crumbling, miner centralization completely over, Bitcoin to win, and it kept on going on and on. It's like, what? This was logical. We saw this before. When you have a whole bunch of American companies who are really trying to get into the cryptocurrency space, and they realize that their means of creation is could be potentially controlled by another country or another entity, they're going to try and get into it as well. This is why we saw all the mining companies and factories opening in Canada, opening in Alaska, opening in Texas, opening in so-and-so. Of course, it was logical that that was going to happen. I guess you needed someone as popular as Plan B to say that it was going to happen for people to believe that it was going to happen. Weird news, right? It's just really, really, really weird, odd news all the time. I mean, it was logical. I assume that there are also many miners that have opened up in Greenland and Iceland and other cold places because mining is relatively easy there and it keeps the machines cool. Anyway, that's that news, and let's move on. And to finish things off, the total supply of stablecoins has skyrocketed to to $9 billion, effectively surpassing the total market cap of XRP at $8.7 billion. We had news about a week ago. I think it was $7.9 billion or $8 billion US dollars equivalent of stablecoins that had been minted. Now it's $9 billion. The increase in Tether's volume has been particularly strong, with 54% supply surge since March. The total supply issued to Tether has increased by $7.5 billion. Oh my gosh. This has been by far the steepest rise in the supply of Tether. My, 7.5, what? The increase of volume of Tether can be attributed to the increasing demand of the US dollar around the world as the world reserve currency. Notably, this is actually, it's not untrue. A lot of analysts are saying that the reason why the US dollar has been doing okay the last couple of weeks, even with the actual printing of extra dollars, is because people are around the world now trying to figure out safe ways or something very stable to put their money into. And a lot of people are choosing the US dollar. And therefore, while you have this huge upswing in the amount being printed, you also have more current demand for it. Notably, the weekly net inflow of Tether to crypto exchanges on a 7-day average has been quite strong despite the drop and bearish sentiments in the market, none of which there really are. The average balance of Tether on exchanges has increased by nearly 200%, from 500 million to 1.5 billion since March. They said the total exchanges balance ballooning as potential Bitcoin supply available to be acquired on exchanges is falling. The supply demand squeeze continues to tighten. We need, as a industry, it needs to be March. No, sorry, wrong day. It was March. It needs to be June. Bitcoin's halving, because it's the tension is killing me. When you read around why there's so much stablecoins, and the news why we had news last week about the amount of stablecoins, is that apparently it looks like people are putting as much stablecoins as possible onto these exchanges to buy up whenever they deem fit. It's quite difficult, may take a bit of time, may not be as quick as they want to when it comes to trading or buying up cryptocurrencies to be able to do so by bank transfers, sending money, activating it, sending money to Coinbase, whatever the case might actually be. It may take a day or two, but if the money's already on the cryptocurrency exchanges, because of the demand that we were hearing from the people from Tether and the other cryptocurrency exchanges who do have stablecoins announcing that they're there because the demand has risen, means to a lot of people the news that we've been getting has been, if or when Bitcoin's halving happens and prices start to move, these billions of dollars will already be on the exchanges and therefore will be able to buy up tons of crypto in a second, as opposed to actually having to wait. It's just more of a question mark as to if this is all going to happen. This is why I said it needs to be June already, because May has to kind of just really take place, because we have so much speculation as to exactly what's going to happen. Is Bitcoin's price going to go up? Is Bitcoin's price going to go down? Will Bitcoin's price react at all? Will the billions of dollars worth of stablecoins on these cryptocurrency exchanges be put to use? If Bitcoin decides to fall down 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, 17%, will there be a massive buy order from all these exchanges, people who are buying $100 million worth of Bitcoin at the exact same time? No one knows, but it's all speculation that all revolves around the next 2 weeks. That's the crazy part. Everything we've been getting, all the news that we've been getting, all the fear and greed, all the optimism, all the search results on Google and stuff like that, the more people are searching for the word Bitcoin and Bitcoin halving than they ever have before. It's because we're so close to it. But all of this is crazy speculation, and no one knows if this is going to take place. If you look at the actual title, it says Bitcoin and US dollar tether balance on exchanges signals a bull run. Also, remember I mentioned a couple of months ago, and I said, I put it to you this way. In 2017, beginning of the year, no one, not one person I knew was talking about Bitcoin. By the time we hit March and April, I had a couple of friends, a couple of family members. Hey, you know what a Bitcoin is? What is that? I keep seeing digital money on the news. It went from 800 to 2,000. That's crazy. How do I get into that? I started seeing a couple of drops of that around this same time frame now, and in the future where we are, about once a week. No, I'll say thrice a week. I'm getting text messages from people either asking me how to start investing, how to get into the stock market, what dividend investing is, or how to open up or buy cryptocurrency on a crypto exchange. I'm seeing the same trickles. We're also seeing the same kind of like similar price movements. We also saw the tether balance in 2017 also going up as more money was flowing into the market. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I guess all will be revealed by the time we hit August. May, June, July, August. That's 4 months after Bitcoin's halving. If Bitcoin's price has moved up, if the momentum has maintained, if there are tons of people who are still trying to buy Bitcoin at the same exact level, time frame, I don't know what word I'm looking for. Frequency. Sorry for screaming. Frequency, as they were doing before. Because like I said, everyone I know is still buying. If the reward gets cut in half and people are still buying, that means that the price will obviously follow upwards as the demand is still there. And what if the halving does take place, and then you have about a good $6 billion on exchanges that then flows directly into crypto? You have a movement upward. It's all speculation. We are 2 weeks away. We're so close. I think it's 2 weeks. I think it's 14 days now. 14 days, 15 days. 2 weeks. Doesn't matter. It's closer than we ever were before. I'm very excited just to see what happens. I mean, it's just my gosh, I'm like out of breath. Like I've been jogging as I'm sitting here. Yeah, it's very fascinating indeed. Like all the stuff that we get, wow, all the stuff that we keep getting is just pointing to everyone being extremely bullish. But yeah, At the moment, go away. At the moment, the prices are weird. XRP is shooting up in price for some reason, and I don't exactly know why. Like, really don't know why. Tether started going down. This happened, like, I think right before I was starting the video. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Tezos is up. Lumens is up. Wait, were we just talking about Lumens? US exchange, fear and greed. No. Why is Lumens up? It's kind of weird. Where's the other one? Cardano's still kind of ish up. And where's TRON? TRON is okay. TRON is up by 4%. I honestly would have assumed an actual real honest partnership would have at least given them like a good like 12% up, but this is what I mean. The cryptocurrency space is very weird. Can you imagine in 2016, 2017, if there had been any cryptocurrency that had been integrated into Samsung and people were able to play games from said blockchain on a smartphone? TRON would be like $28 right now. But we're in a new age where people just really don't pay attention to the news, I guess, and don't really understand the significance of all these things. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Another edition of news I missed, as it were, because there's just so much news out there. It's absolutely insane. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.